So what do we have here? We have there's actually quite a big difference from what we have seen in the previous time from Gambit, because Shaders is not playing Reyna for the first time, like, you know, ever in Champions on Breeze. And now you should wonder, right? Is that the reason is because they were saving Sky for the final, or was that the realization that, yeah, Reyna is just garbage, right? I really wonder. I would have to ask Shaders later on what was the reason for that, because it's actually very interesting. Damn, I forgot to change my cable in the monitor. Shit. And I think it's faulty because I lose like contrast on it, and then I swap it out and it's like and it's back to normal. Anyway, hello Tifo. So we have Shadows back on Sky. We have Nets and Viper, Redgar on Sova. So Sova, Jet. We have Viper as the core. That's essentially what every single team plays. And then we have the biggest difference, which is something that I very dislike, is the Killjoy on Breeze. Like, that's the biggest one. And then we have Killies on the Cypher, which I really think it's a big difference, because you're allowed to roam much more with the Cypher. You're allowed to be very loose with the map control, because you can just leave the traps alone and just have it, you know? While Chronicle will be tied to a bomb site and an attack, also you won't be able to like control flanks in a very deep in very deep distance. So, and also the ultimate is not great. Like, the only way you can use the ultimate essentially as an initiation is from here, right? Like from this side and elbow, which is very predictable, like very predictable. And that's the only like great, but it's not even that great. So we'll see. And then the other one is from here, from elbow. As you know, like they have like this kind of range, so they don't really affect the game that much. So I don't know what to think about the Killjoy. I always feel like it's a weak choice. This is why I would always prefer to have Cypher, and then over Cypher I would prefer to have Chamber. Just because he's just so good in taking first angles, but we'll see how that will develop next year. So, do we know who was the MVP tournament? Yes, it was Zeke, from what I know. Might be wrong. I think it was Zeke. Morning, Vanyard. Alright, and then we have KO and we have Sky. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of KO. Especially after the Sky nerf. The flashes are almost the same power, I would say. I would even say that Zeke has an upper hand because his flashes are silent, right? So flash is silent and as fast, and it's actually faster on the right click to actually execute. So, and to abuse Viper walls, I really like it, and it's capable of shutting down completely Viper and Killjoy, and of course the basic counter to Sova drone. But the big thing is, like, look when you compare when you play KO, right? When you compare playing against Killjoy or playing against Cypher, Cypher has an option to actually counter KO by, like, he leaves traps on A but then goes B, right? And you can still use this stuff while being fully like aware of holding a different angle. While Killjoy is not able to do that because she has to play next to her utility, and then she's more susceptible to the ultimate from Zeke on the KO. So that's another thing, but we'll see. Anyway, first round, Gambit is on attack. Typically, when we have seen Gambit play on almost every single map, they are playing a heavy default on attack, but they have problems. They had problems with Shadows playing on Reyna when it comes to holding enough lanes, and they were actually getting flanked while holding a default on Breeze, which is a big problem, right? There was like typically always one lane that was loosely more guarded, which an example was Holtz, and then it was being exploited. So we'll see how this will go from Killis and company. In Acend, we see that we have 3 players guarding B, which will be most likely a very strong push with the initiation from Zeke with the flash. And then we have a retake strategy on A, which is very important because they know that they're going to try to do the map control on B. Now, why is this important is that when you want to push one lane, right? Imagine you're doing pressure, like you do pressure this lane. So here, you don't want to put pressure because typically what happens is there are two possible outcomes out of doing pressure, right? When you do pressure in this direction, then the opponent, let's mark it pink, then the opponents have two options. Either they crack down against the pressure and go against the current and they fight it, right? Or the other option is to fall back. Now, the thing is, if your defenders on the other side of the map, right? Those are the only two outcomes, essentially, right? There's a pressure going from B, then the aggressor has an option. Either we stand and fight the aggression from B, or we go back and go the other way, right? And now, when you have players from A, which is the smaller number of players, right? If they would have pushed at the same time, sorry, let's do yellow. If the defender would push from both sides simultaneously, right? Do a crunch on B and do a crunch on A. One of those crunches will have less amount of players. And the thing is, they will get some map control very early on. But the problem is, if those players that were pressured before are just gonna fall back, they're gonna fall back fully into only 2 players, right? And if you're taking aggressive map control, you can actually be surprised by people suddenly running in an off time to your crosses and it will just kill you off based upon that. So there's a very, very big reason to stay more passive on A, either fully retake or take very early angle and just hide. So if you will be like a jet, not stupid would be holding like those angles, get 1 kill and then go back, right? But that's not what you can do with a Cypher or Sova. So playing more passive, playing retake with the abilities will be more important than taking map control, because the job is that is the job of the team on B side.
Again, and remember, great moments are born from great opportunity. These both now have Gambit on the attacking side.
So there was a plan of pushing B, but they had the Tiger.
Remember, great moments are born from great
They had another player, so they had 2 players, Tiger and another player in here, and this is why they didn't do the crackdown. This is why we see a little bit more passive approach now from Acend. Because they anticipate they might actually be at execute here, and that would allow them to actually defend the side with 3 players.
Have Gambit on the attacking side, Acend.
He tried countering, that's very interesting. He tried countering the Tiger with the dagger, but the range is not good enough, right? Shadow is not affected? No, he's not affected by the dagger. So Shadows stood so far up that he's not being affected by the dagger. Very heads up play by him, and they cleared elbow for Defo essentially here. So now he has an angle for Nest. Now the second initiation goes in. This is very interesting because look, the Alamo bot controls the flank. The third is like a second layer to that, right? But also can control mid in case Nats dies in middle. And now when they cleared elbow, Sova essentially picks up that point, and from that point he uses the owl drone to even get more space for Defo. In the meantime, when that happens, Shadows is going back to elbow to join Defo, but at the same time he's flashing sight for info and for intimidation. So now now there are 2 players that are trying to get map control with the drone. They follow the drone, and 2 players are holding like those all angles, right? This it's like when you think about it, this is pretty cool done, right? In a cool way, but there are big gaps that you have problems with, right? This is why you have to compensate. Like this is still open, but Shadows had to sacrifice one of his flashes to make sure that no one in their right mind will push into this. But if someone would actually push B, imagine if Acend have like every info available, right? Suddenly they can push from here and get info and get kills and get backstabs and also can get info about the spike. right? So those are the gaps that I was mentioning. But the thing is that now Gambit is compensating with the utility that is like an intimidation factor, so people don't push into that lane that is not being guarded.
On the side of Acend. Actually, they're going to be able to avoid this owl drone here, but...
Oh, that's a big one.
He's going to take first contact, deals with Defo immediately.
A little bit of a return fire from Shados, but it's quick and it's Acend.
Yeah.
Really sending a stark message to begin with. 2 quick kills and you lose out on Defo.
And Nats gets a headshot here. Like, can't really do much, right? When 2 players are trying to, like, just duel 2-on-2. That's like, that's actually 2 versus 3. I don't like this approach. I don't like this approach in pistol round, because it gives a how do I say that? This approach from Gambit here, although it looks cool as map control tool, then you do the actual crackdown, and it turns out you have a chance of being 2 versus 2, which is a 50-50. In this case, it was 2 versus 3, so it's less than 50-50, and they get pincered from both sides because they didn't have, right? They didn't have any kind of smoke on Nest to utilize fully the access that the owl drone gave. So not a fan of this, to be honest. And Acend, because they were playing so deep on A and just retaking it, they were not pressured into peeking double doors and peeking cave, which would have been punished by Chronicle Nats. So now it's 3 versus 5. Let's see.
So now looking at what's left, Nats, Redgar, Chronicle. A tough predicament to be presented with, and now a last-minute Aileen. Now the spike is on the way, and you can see Nats slowly closing.
Shama, I'm waiting up with no problems for streaming at 8 AM because I love streaming.
You can see that paranoia starting to build.
Nats tagged up a little bit, actually going to get confirmation.
Yeah, and Nats is also getting info, like how many players are coming from here. He heard the Jet, he heard the Viper. So he knows about 3 players, but then there are 2 players still flanking, and there's no way you can control all of those in post-plant. Like here, right here, right? Gambit in a 3v5 retake has almost no chance. There was a moment where Gambit could have tried to gamble right after the post-plant and get a little bit map control by pushing either solo or duos. Or even as 3. That's something that Crew was doing consistently, and it worked. And that's how you want to play pistol rounds in or any post plant when you're at a disadvantage. But the thing is, this map is so big, like there was not a single like clear moment for Gambit to do that. But yeah, it's like that's it. You're just getting cracked down. There's almost no way of winning that pistol round.
And again, we're coasting through that. The perfect setup again, anticipating Gambit showing a little presence towards B, and actually the pistol round back to mid. Got there so early because that's.
And this is something I very dislike. You guys remember when I was doing VOD review of Gambit last time? I was talking about how Gambit is the only team in Champions, if I remember correctly, that doesn't force after they plant on second round. Right? So if they plant on a pistol round, they never force on round 2 if they lose that pistol round, even though they have enough cash to force it with Spectres and small shields or Stinkers and big shields. And I feel like, you know, that's just statistically worse. Of the fact of not forcing is statistically worse than forcing on attack round 2 if you planted and lost. But
again,
you know, Gambit is in second place at Champions, so they have to be doing something correctly, right? But from other teams, I always see a big success on round 2 if they go for that force.
It was an 8-4, and then 100 Thieves, we all know how that one ended. Again, one of the craziest comebacks I think we've seen.
Absolutely.
So, and realize that Gambit is also putting the default wall on a, like so far 2 rounds. So they're trying, this is something that we have also seen from many teams on Icebox. They by default put a wall on B because it's just worth conditioning, and that a wall doesn't really have that much value otherwise. Because you have either option to put it on B or put it on A. By conditioning opponents by putting it on one side, they never know if it's going to be a fake or not.
But this has to
Fnatic too? I think Fnatic was forcing, but might be my memory failing
a
me.
little bit of something for Acend. There has to be that little bit of worry in the mind. But with every single frag that comes in for them right now, it's looking clean.
They have a crouch against the
There's a
Surf.
crunch coming in through towards that B side. Starzo's just fine though. He can fall back, hopefully wait
Still,
for some support.
like, you know, getting the first kill here, getting a headshot on the second one, that was very unlucky for Zeke to get dinged there. He had easily like 2 kills otherwise. Whoa, nuts. Stocks are repeaked a little bit too early.
To bed by CNED. It's 2 on the board, and Acend keep 3 alive.
Well, carry some of that momentum across.
Fnatic changing from forcing to only playing classic after losing the pistol round. Did they? Okay, I can't remember that. It's too many matches, man. But I still feel like forcing, I would have to check the stats, but I'm almost certain that forcing on second round after you plant but lose is the most statistically probable win rate, highest win rate round for every team that actually does force.
To make sure that Nats once again can't lean deep into halls.
Double bounce shock dart into the default halls to destroy like any kind of utility, but so far we didn't see Achilles actually set it up in halls. He's putting it on site from stock, so we have the very let's say odd, but not really odd. It has specific reasons. The wall on A that cuts the entrance in half, and then he doubles down with the smoke. The reason is there's a huge pressure done by that. This only works on high level gameplay, by the way, not in ranked. Like in ranked, no one will give a fuck. But in here, like teams are they're not aware if someone could push this side and have the right side of the cape, so they have to check it. It also allows you to play this angle while not being reconned from here, right? You can abuse this as an anti-flash because you can stand behind this wall, and then when the flash pops through here, if the wall is active, of course, you can just pop out of it to play as an anti-flash, and it just carves angles, right, in half.
Well, they might walk it as
See in the walk, yeah. Now Defo's battle will rage on as long as Bone Cold doesn't overextend. Let's see if there's impact elsewhere. It's going to be put into a tough scenario, having to deal with this push coming up tube. 2 players going to turn the screws on it. Nats doing Nats thing, says hello. Starzo, you going to try and play Viper against me? That's crazy. For now, though, Gambit are doing well. They're keeping the rifles in the right place, and they're not really falling foul to any of these little bits of trickery. Now, yes, maybe CNED with a rifle could find a bit of work here. Spike is down, though, and Bone Cold gets caught. So now CNED left in a bit of a spot of bother.
He's a little tagged up, so...
Where could you find these stats about forcing for all teams? Are there already analysis made, or would you personally go and check everything out? I'm sure there's a way to do it and run it back, analysis tool, but I would have to probably spend more time, just like thinking how to make a comment for that, than actually go through the VODs. Because that's not that, you know, in Champions, that's not that many VODs. So going through like by hand, it's probably not that taking a lot of time. It probably will be like 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
And that just walks up, literally walks up. And Green Stars are on default. It is.
I think it is worth forcing on Breeze anyway.
Up there, the Acend change, other than playing a little deeper, right? They give up sight and potentially, I guess, regress towards double doors, try and retake that space on halls, but. And here's CNED now.
Awkward buy for Acend. Zeke is the only one without a gun right now. So that's an outcome of him having to rebuy or drop someone a gun. I can remember. Let me check. What was the previous buy? So Bonko. I'm not sure I like this, to be honest. Look. Bonkold did play a bonus. Zeke bought fully. Right? I wonder what are the comms in the team like that, because there's definitely a little bit of dissonance here. As you can see in the next round, right? In the buy, everyone has a gun apart from Zeke now. And even have an operator. So this is like full commitment, but they don't play full strength, even though they play against full strength on the other side. Maybe not full strength, but almost full strength, right?
And here's seen it now on the operator. Early actually, round 4.
Arrow going for Nest.
Off to a good start though for himself. So
Nanosome early to control peak from double doors. And as you can see, this is the look. This is why I hate Killjoy on attack. Look at the angles that is being covered. Like, this is not good, right? All of this, like, you have no idea what is happening here. It leaves so much to chance. Staxo does the A wall for retake essentially, right? I'm a big fan of this wall. I'm a big fan of either doing this wall or this wall, or even like this wall. Depends on the approach of the team. Keyless has a look at the trap. Very interesting placement that is like made to ensure that you can get a peek when someone is caught off guard fast. Really like this. And the Viper wall from Nats, for the first time it's on actually landing on B, it's on the wall, but it's a little bit angled here in this spot, which I don't like. I'm actually a big fan of doing a wall that is draped behind the concrete wall, but it leaves enough gap to make less space for the defenders. Like, I cannot show you here because there's not enough space on the map to actually showcase it, but the idea is, like, when you have the wall, this is the concrete wall, right? Like this. This is the concrete wall. And what you try to achieve with the Viper wall is to put it behind it. Imagine this is bomb site from here, this is bomb site. And behind the wall, you're trying to make a line, but doesn't touch the concrete wall. And it's not enough distance for players to hide behind this. So there's space here, right? But when a player stands, like when he hugs the wall in this spot, then he's being blinded by the wall. So he's standing in DK, he's hugging the wall, he thinks he has cover, but you can actually peek from this angle and see him fully while he doesn't see you. There's small min-maxing, but you can actually do this. Like, I didn't record a gameplay, it's a guide for Breeze yet, but there's a very easy way of doing this wall consistently every round. And it gives you a small edge. A small edge, because it carves even less space for the defenders.
Why not? But let's see what the adjustment, if there is one coming out from Gambit. Consider this a possibility.
See?
But already
like, it's so, this trap is so dangerous. It gives you access from Nest. It gives you access for a crackdown from Elbow. It's pretty nuts. Imagine if there was a single other character than Jet.
give away somewhat of the game, trying to play it through Elbow.
And this is where Phantom superiority, right? Shaders only gets that kill. I mean, not only, but majority of the fault, let's say like that, for that kill is because Boncold is shooting with a Vandal. So he looks at the trajectory of the bullets, right, and just shoots in that direction. See? And that's it.
The game, trying to play it through Elbow.
And he's dead.
Gets a freebie. Boncold going to be livid with that. Shadow's going to try and power forward. Yeah, oh, he almost got killed.
See?
Freebie.
Look at
okay. Going to be livid with that.
Look at Cypher. That's literally what I was talking about. Achilles hugs the wall here, right? Imagine now this wall would have been min-maxed and he would have been affected by the wall. He would have not the option to stand here, so he would have to stand more in the open and be more susceptible to like the other angles, right? In case this wall goes down and he's affected, or he's being affected by the DK if he's sensing that and he's also blinded.
Shadow's going to try and power forward. Yeah, oh, he almost got killers as well. Finest of margins here, but they actually peel away from this.
Feel a bit of pressure, and actually you can see here Chronicles found some space.
One way from that, from Starkstone. My God.
Maybe not. Maybe just the intuition kicking in, but he has to facilitate.
Very simple but effective. That stops people pushing from double doors. Even though you know, people are going from uphill, so they have small vision right here, but they cannot push through, right?
The site on main, so they're aware the hit's going to be leaning this way. They can leave CNED lingering towards that B site. As now Chronicle starts to build through. Lovely work from
yeah.
him. Good spray.
You're getting fucked by the amount of utility being thrown at you.
Should at least be available enough in Chronicle. Not overextend.
The tricky spot here. Hunter's Fury actually going to get sent through from Redgar. He actually found a tag inside back at Halsey did. Keyless will fall. Just he can see Ned to try and recover this now.
I don't see Gambit getting overzealous. I don't think they're going to overpeak on this. I think they're going to sit real keen, play this smart, and not give away any opportunities. Just a little jump peek, that's enough. Just to reassure positioning.
What the fuck,
jump
dude?
Peek, that's enough. Just to reassure position.
Well, I can't really do much about that.
Away any opportunities. Just a little jump peek, that's enough. Just to reassure position.
That's nuts.
What, Zeke? 2 kills out of nowhere, and suddenly this round becomes a little bit more viable, but time is the biggest
No
problem.
way, man.
Oh my word, Zeke! Is this when you're going to step up and deliver? But it's going to be Chronicle. The bottom line, Zeke! The timing! I don't think he's going to have the time. Surely! Surely! Oh my god, Zeke has just destroyed them!
That was absolutely insane from Zeke.
I mean,
Landing
can't really do much about that, right?
Gambit were like, we're fine.
And he was 10 HP. Like, those two players here, they make the right decision. I mean, sorry, maybe peeking is not the right decision, but when you peek, it's at least being done by double peeking, right? So that's a good decision to double peek. But Zeke just punishes them with a nutty transfer, right? Even though it like in CS, this wouldn't be perceived like, oh, super skillful, right? Because it's not, you see that so often in CS. Here in Valorant, because the spray is random after 6 bullets, right? Let's see how many bullets did he actually play with. He killed after the okay, at 14 bullet kills. Yes, the 14 bullet. No, 15. 14? 15 bullet? I think so, right? Let's check. How many bullets does he have?
Gambit were like, we're fine. We're absolutely fine.
Wait, he actually kills 2 players with 4 bullets.
And then this.
And he does that in a small burst. This is not done in full auto. Look at the way the bullets are going down. This is not a full auto. This is 2 small bursts. It is actually pretty nuts when you think about it. This is actually very nuts. He had 18 bullets at the beginning of the fight, and he shoots a small burst, crouches, readjusts, and shoots a small burst. So this is not full auto. This is actually very controlled. And look at this. The speed of the bullets are going down. There's a small pause between the first kill and the second kill. See? He goes 3 bullets, 3 bullets. This is not a full auto. This is just very short controlled bursts, and this is insanely good control and patience as well. Because most people would just go fucking put a brick on the mouse 1 and try to full auto this, right? And be like, oh, got lucky. Here, he actually went for a controlling burst. It's like in Aliens, short controlled burst, you know? And it's super effective. So Zeke literally wins that because of that.
We're fine. We're absolutely fine. And then this happened.
It's the small things that you need to learn to appreciate, but most people just dismiss it as lucky full auto. Right? Yo!
How do I read this? Holy fuck. Oh, it's Kowal. Okay, this is Polish. Thank you, my friend, for joining the family, my friend. Thank you very much for the first monthly ticket, and welcome to the family. Could you introduce yourself? That'd be absolutely amazing, my friend.
Oh my god. I can't believe, again, like you said, Chronicles, look at this on the X-Ray. Chronicles like, yeah, surely they've not got a way back on site.
Gambit used the shit wall once in this match. I would love to hear your take on why it worked. Waiting for defense hole. My guess is that because the shit wall on here, as I explained in my video, only works if the Viper plays in this position. And then he has support from here. So we'll see. Probably that happened. Because every wall has some usage. But it's a very specific scenario that you don't, like, if it's very specific, you don't want to do it every round. But we'll see. Hey.
Insane round from Zeke. And again, Sean touched on this. He's looked so comfortable on this KO. There's almost like a late round component for Acend, which is something previously lacking, right? It was all about that initial aggression for Acend.
And look, how many times have we told the story of Seen It and Starzo and a couple of the other players, and Zeke was this hot prospect who got picked up and we were waiting to see if he could activate, find that role, and he's found more than that already. And you've got to say, losing a 2v, what, 4, 5 almost?
What I said about this Killjoy ultimate, it's very predictable. And look, Zeke just counters it with his grenade for 200. Like, what's up, right? Very predictable. This is why I really dislike Killjoy on this map.
For Gambit.
What would you consider as an ideal compound breeze with the addition of chamber? I would consider this composition. Oh, why is it blue? Yellow. I would consider this composition to be the most meta right now. Definitely has the biggest access to possibilities. And like different scenarios that you can execute with, while having access to almost every single tool that you should have on this map. So then you just exchange. If you want to have more firepower, you exchange chamber for Cypher, or the other way around. You exchange Cypher for chamber right here, and this in my eyes is the most meta comp once chamber gets available, because it increases the ultimate power plus economy, right? You gain an operator for free every few rounds, which is absolutely nuts. In combination with Jet, that gives you a lot of economy boost. You have this almost the same map control as with Cypher. You don't have the smokes, of course, but something for something, right? But you're able to go for the aggressive peaks like you have Reyna. It's like chamber is like a combination of Reyna here on this map right here, plus Cypher, which when you think about it is nuts. Right, so if you have a player that can use that to its full extent, I think there's no point in playing Cypher when you have chamber. But you have to you need a player that will try to utilize the aggressive off angles on defense.
At it, just straight on to Chronicle. He's feeling this game. He's got that.
It's 5 players on Acend still. Gambit failed at getting host control, and now they have to like go back to try to do an execute with only 2-3 players on B, which is almost a death sentence, right? So Acend right now doesn't over-rotate. The trap was destroyed by something. I don't know what was that. Probably just shots or something. Now you have the normal execute, but it's only 2 players, right? Dash into sight onto the smoke, flash through the smokes to abuse it.
Where everything makes sense, but a quick piece in towards the B site. Now we already know there's one player here.
But yeah, it's like this is a big thing. Look, holy shit! Defo didn't check anything, right? Wait. Let us go. Why is dashing on site so powerful? Because you can side dash on Jordan dash, right? Let's pay attention. If Defo did check any corners, he checked left. So he checked the left corner here, right? And he didn't check right corner. Now imagine if he's able to go like this, right? So he's I don't know his sensitivity. Like that's the one reason, one of the reasons why playing high sensitivity on Jet actually matters, because you're able to do like the side dashes, right? And you can check both. This is also why sometimes, if you're like skilled enough, but it will require a lot of practice, you can do a backwards dash, like you updraft, you do a 180, so you face this direction, and then dash backwards, like this, right? You dash backwards, and then you see everything. But you see players doing like checking both angles while going left and right. But imagine if he checks the right corner, right? It changes so much, because he was still not aware that someone was holding the right angle.
Now we're already on this one player here. Killers does find one, and Defo's none the wiser. He's gone away with murder from this
Hey,
corner.
Matsi, how we doing?
A free little upgrade as well, leaving Nats and Redgar with nothing to do but die.
Lockdown has 120 HP, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, surely. Yeah, Nats is on one
I
side.
actually don't know. I can't remember.
And unretrievable now. You can see already the body's in place. 4 people here to hold on to it. And again, just Zeke comes through, throws the fragment in, deals with the lockdown. That protects the Viper's pit set up towards A main, forces Gambit's hand in terms of this rotation. They get punished for it. Really nice crossfire from Bone Cold and Keyless. Cned.
It's hard to do a full execute with only 2 players, right?
1v4.
It's really tough. Like,
Zeke,
that was a miracle to do.
Zeke's shown that there's possibilities, but I think that Nats knows with that Spike's positioning, they're going to swarm that.
Defo Cned, which one is better entry and why? I think Cned is still the best Jet in the world because of the way that he plays with the entire team. But the gap is definitely closing between him and other Jets.
They are one of the true tested teams who consistently find that ability to run it back into the game, no matter the scoreline. Acend, I'm still unsure if they can do that grind back, but do they have to?
The problem being, I think, throughout this year, you've looked at Acend and thought, yeah, very fast and loose again. How much can they replicate that in terms of, you know, teams that don't match up? And Gambit, I think, is actually one of those examples you say they play so slow that it could cause a lot of problems for Acend, right? Kind of, they burn out very quickly in the early round. But one of the things Acend have really tightened up is their late round, their audible calling. And again, it comes back to Zeke in terms of this utility cycle, and he's such a huge factor in that regard.
Well, Zeke and
Again, they play around the range of the dagger. Very important, so they don't get the info. Now, this is very important. Look at what they do. Look what Acend does. Dagger first. No one's here. And then recontrol with the camera. So they go with temporary control for permanent control, and because of that, Zeke is allowed to rotate. While Gambit is trying to make a fake, they wall on A, they do a Sova drone on A to make A anxious, but in the meantime, Acend is cracking down through double doors. They're getting spotted by the turret, but the turret is gonna get destroyed, and now 4 players in elbow. Like, Acend doesn't have the slightest idea yet where are the players. They know only about the Sova, but they didn't hear anyone else, right? So they didn't see anyone on mid right here. So their conclusion will be there are only 2 options, right? Here or here. So this camera should be utilized as soon as possible. And if that's not the case, that she will not spot anything, then the players from A should just try to control A side, and there'll be like a hold with 3 players. We'll see what's gonna happen.
Like, no early note of player, but speaking of them,
Turret was active. And he knows now. He knows. Wait, was he active? Fuck. I didn't pay attention. The camera was active.
Speaking of them, towards the B side,
it was active. So he saw the camera was active. So he sees Defo and Chronicle. And if he sees Defo and Chronicle, then that means Killjoy is not lurking. That means that this is an execute. And because of that, most likely we're gonna see a rotation from Acend. Right?
Comes in from Acend, takes a little bit of an early battle, but don't overcommit.
Actually, they did not. I mean, they do now. Well, but
fall away. Now utility gets noted, and the push looks like it's coming in. It's a bit of a shaky buy. Nat's the only one. really with a rifle, and Kiles still just keeps away. How is he not getting noted at this point? So many rounds he's getting away from these dirty little angles. Oh,
oh wow, Kiles, right, what an impact. Holy shit. Like, the first kill is whatever. It's the second kill that matters because it shuts down the utility, right? It shuts down the Viper's Pit. It's so important.
Spike once again down behind enemy lines, over a minute on the board. Where do they find any avenue in here?
Again, that's the Spectre and the rifle removed from Gambit. Spike again on site. The one thing actually Gambit had going for them there is getting onto site, finding that Viper's Pit, but Kiles...
Hi, my name is Pavel. I'm an university student. I just thought I would start subscribing to your channel. I found it valuable for the information and knowledge I get from your VOD reviews. Thank you, Koval. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, Pavel.
Again, at this point...
Alright, let's...
to Valorant, and you've seen this rise of Gambit. There was a clip.
Time out.
So that if it becomes apparent because you talk about in-game leadership.
We have a 4-1-0 split.
Coaching element. There's a lot of factors beyond just the players.
Right, there's only one player mid, right? I think so.
On the screen right now, but
yeah, only one player mid. There's a smoke being put on Nest right now, plus a recon arrow to get early control, I think. Yeah. So
Acend are sending a...
You can see this. The flash gets early control if someone pushed outside here, right? So if someone pushed from this B tunnel towards elbow, it would have been flashed now. So those players are taking the space in the meantime. This player from here, while being flashed, needs to go back, so he's exposed to mid, and also he's now being like he will be spotted by the recon arrow if he goes back, which allows those players to take the space.
Rather poignant statement. Already Seekers.
Second flash being used. I'm not so certain about this one. Like, there's no one to capitalize on this flash. No one was being spotted by an arrow. By the way, this smoke is pretty fucking bad. That is not good. And he uses the Seekers. So I'm not sure I like this. There's no one taking control after this flash. I feel like it was way more important to save it for this site, because they right now. Oh wait, this is a fake. This is why he does it. Okay. Now we understand. They do a massive fake. And now those two players will try to reclaim space on A. Damn. Okay, but this is actually a little bit wonky, because did he use the let me go back. When did he okay, so he used the wall at the beginning of the round. He froze the smoke, froze the Viper wall, and goes immediately back. And the second flash is just to make sure that this fake is sold thoroughly. But the problem is, with this amount of utility and a random shot by CNET, well, what the fuck? The players are actually just pushed here, because there's such big amount of pressure. So honestly, if you use so much pressure by going here, I don't think faking into cave is a good choice, because pay attention to what's happening on the minimap, right? Let's say that this guy doesn't die with the lucky shot by CNET. I mean, lucky. Luck is, he took the shot, he got lucky and killed him. But he took the decision to actually shoot, right? So, good on him. But the thing is, with such a big amount of utility that they used on B from both here and here, you guarantee, essentially, that players playing side are gonna go back, unless there's 3 players here. But they're gonna be pushed out. And this smoke guarantees that no one will try to peek from Nest, right? So essentially, by putting the amount of pressure, you make people go back to those positions. And now if you do this, if you go into a cave, right? And you want to plant on A, that means that players are closer to A site. Let's see how this plays out, but they use so much util, they use so much pressure that actually not going B makes little sense.
Looks like they want to set the tone.
What?
And Cena just doesn't like the song they're singing. Already with a connection towards Shados, it's put it down to Nats, Redgar, and Defo. But look at the space. They've garnered a fair amount here. But already...
But yeah, they got the space, but they can't do anything with it. That's the thing, right? Even if Shadows would have been alive, they wouldn't have gotten any space. Because now when you think about it, like this is passively taken. But now Defo has to control this, and he can't really move anymore, right? Specifically also because Shadows is dead. But if, let's say if Shadows would be just controlling here, that would have been both in the same situation. They cannot proceed, and now the time when they put the pressure on the map is gone. And they didn't take any space here. Because it was so far away. So this is essentially not a fake. This is just a very late rotation. So they didn't get anything from this. They used so much util, but didn't gain that much
Zeke's
in exchange.
cognizant of it. He's already watching this push through.
And again, CNED's picked up a different angle altogether. Defo's...
And of course you can argue, okay, CNED got the kill and it stopped them because of that. But I would think that the same outcome would have happened if Shadows would have been alive. Just because look at the locations. How are the players are standing? They have, like, Acend has a lot of patience here and a lot of discipline. That would be the same outcome, even if Shadows would have been alive.
Looking to close the distance here onto CNED in particular, but see actually the spike making its way back over towards A. Still two players on the side of Acend.
One of my favorite walls on A, if you play Viper, by the way, because it also gives you enough roaming power from mid to like flank and not be spotted by people from cave if the wall is active. And it stops the first push, essentially, so it gives a lot of early control. It's pretty nice.
This A main push if it does come.
And you can do it before the barrier
Still
drops.
haven't cleared or noted Bone Cold. He's going to sit there
They
quietly.
have to re-explore, exactly. There's so many like dirty little angles they can find.
And also it allows the same thing. It allows you to look through cave before being exposed, right?
It's actually going to get found with the spike inside. Hauls that.
Oh no, the opportunity might have just slipped through his fingers. He keeps control of it for now. Defo does well to get away with that. That was actually looking very one-sided, but now down to the 3v2. Redgar and Defo still trying to find that spike and build it back through. They're trying to
they know
isolate
he's stairs now.
Stairs. That could be a catch-off, and it is. Good pick from Redgar there, but look who's been waiting the entire time. He kept calm under pressure.
This is just bad plan from Gambit in the first place.
And we carry on. Ascend.
So the fake was a nice idea, but the execution of it was definitely subpar. And Acend, with discipline, just holds angles, which wins them the round because they didn't fall for Gambit's ruse, essentially.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just
must be nice.
Just run that one another 3 times if possible. A lot of pressure.
I will be the first to say Defo on land looks completely different.
That's the shock dart with double bounce to destroy the trap.
Defo on land looks completely different to how he does online sometimes, but he does now need to find it against a superstar.
So now they go for the ultimate 4 players cave and 1 guy in halls. The very basic.
And Defo, I need to see a little bit of that jet magic coming from him, but the site very
Starks, who uses the cut-in-half entrance.
Patient hold, a very deep hold. Starzo sitting back by Tribox. They've got a very deep post-plant positioning potentially.
This wall from Starks is actually a little bit awkward. Was he able to cut it closer to the wall? I'm actually not certain. Maybe he leaves it purposefully so he can abuse it. Maybe he baits someone into peeking in that corner and then he gets him, right? Oof.
But Defo's going exploring and he finds nothing that he wanted. Starzo still holding a good amount of territory. There's that ult coming in as...
A little bit... Look. A little bit mistimed. Imagine if this snakebite from Starksaw lands faster than this one tag from the Hunter's Fury kills the player. Look. It is a little bit off time. The idea is great. Right? The idea is great. But it's a little bit off time. It's like half a second too late.
There's that ult coming in as considered. Doesn't get everything, but Starzo does. Ascend looks so polished. Nats, you've got a 1v5 in a space.
Are you surprised about the result of semis and final?
Come in. I don't think you can do anything about this one.
No, not
Acend
really.
like a different beast
Although
right now.
I think
Everything is going
Gambit
their
was a
way.
little bit disappointing in general. Like, sorry, let me rephrase that. Gambit's attack side, in every single match I did watch, it didn't look good. It was off-timed. There's some good ideas, but they're executed not in a great way.
On a site. Starzo just swings through here.
Easy again. I'm so hyper aware that that was the way they wanted to play it. You already had Starzo back at Trybox, sitting super passive, patiently playing off the back of the
Defo with the operator on attack.
They're being a little bit more patient with it this time. Maybe a little bit of a different look, maybe an adjustment from Gambit. Rifles back out, Defo on the op. Money is there.
Enemy mucked. They gain a little bit of space on mid. No one is playing Nest. I don't... No, there's no smoke on Nest this time, so they cannot like feel happy about that. And look, they control a bit of the space. Like Gambit didn't gain that much from it, right? And then we have already a retake wall from Starkso on B. Well, if it's a retake wall, why do we have two players here? That's a little bit awkward.
To slip back through. Spike not committed this time, so expecting Gambit to just solely try and work a pick here.
He was trying to bait for Shadows, because Shadows is controlling Nest all the time, but no one bites because there's no one there.
We've come to expect.
Yeah, that poised nature coming out from Gambit.
This is where Acend have got great. They taking this space now. Again, now the rotation comes through from Chronicle.
Yes.
But see, this is the problem that we'll see over and over again. This turret from Killjoy we're gonna get destroyed very early on, and they have no idea where we'll get like, yeah, destroyed the turret. Now Gambit lost the entire control, and I have no idea where the players are.
Here, so Gambit now.
37 seconds, and they didn't draw almost any utility. On B, I mean, right? They drew a little bit of utility on A, but that's about it. The utility on B is still fully intact because they didn't put any pressure into it, and now they go with 30 seconds into B. That's the crazy part, and that's what I've been complaining about Gambit in the previous maps as well, previous matches as well. Their attack side, which is put heavy focus on just playing default for the first 40 seconds, right? And getting a little bit of space here and there. If the opponents are not biting, if the defense is actually playing defense and not just being like cocky, right? They will not use much. They'll just hold. And now you're gonna have Gambit go into a B side with 5 players, sure,
They have to.
but they will have 30 seconds to execute against a fully utilized B side.
30 seconds, you can't do anything about it. So now keep your eye towards the likes of Zeke, who sat towards the corner here. Still has flashes. Killers can't watch his cross anymore, so he's a little isolated. But Killers has got a feeling someone's close by. And he's not
1-for-1, not the best, but still okay. Like, I'm sorry, not okay. But at least it doesn't go for 0, right? 1-for-1 on defense is like...
wrong, and he still gets a surprise on 1. Great
Well, that shouldn't have happened. Def was nuts.
trade from Defo. Great clear from Defo. How's he found this little bit of momentum? Nats pushes forward, secures CT.
Bone Cold ready with the flank. 11 seconds left, and... 11 seconds left. Killjoy doesn't control flanks. Right? Wait, the spike was dropped. Oh, because Sova died. Right? Sova had the spike. Yeah, Redgar had the spike. Sova's already flanking because he was enabled. Like, with so many seconds left on the clock, Bonkold can just take the space. I'm not sure why CNED is still on A. I'm really not sure about that because there's 20 seconds left. This won't be a fake. And we have seen... Oh, wait. No. It's fine. I rewinded. Never mind. They didn't know yet about how many people are playing on B, but it should be executed here, right? But now, this is the moment where CNED sees like, oh, shit. And he runs. Yeah, and he runs. See? instant reaction from CNET. Instant reaction on CNET. You could argue that maybe he should make that decision like earlier just because of the clock, but they had no info. But once he sees 3 players on the minimap, instant swap. Not even 200 milliseconds pass. And CNET is already running through with a knife.
Someone. Great trade from Defo. Great clear from Defo. How's he found this little bit of momentum? Nats pushes forward, secures CT.
Yeah, but that's done, right?
Does at least get 1, but now it's down to 2. CNET and Bone Cold spike yet to go down. Where is this?
GG.
Hold on, 5 seconds. CNET just has to live. Nats, can you find the final player? Bone Cold's out of there. That's the worst game of hide and seek Nats has ever played.
Again, in a round like
Analyzing of these matches has really shown me how complex the pro games and strategies are. It also helped me improve in ranked in terms of the smaller aspects I can control. Very nice to hear, Riser Raptor.
They're too slow to react.
Thank you for watching, my friend. I mean, when it comes to the complexity of this game, it's absolutely insane how complex this game is. And my goal is to learn these things, but also, like, learn. To improve my my understanding of those things, that, like, what is the outcome, right? By analyzing what was going on the map. But also, I'd like to transfer that potential knowledge to the viewers, because there's a lot of unfortunate memeing with, like, you know, this is just an example, right? But the biggest offender is, oh, run and gun is a problem in Valorant. Well, it's obviously just an over-exaggerated meme, but people who are stupid enough to not realize that the game is very complex and it's run and gun is not a problem, they will just meme the shit out of the game while just kind of ignore everything that makes a game great.
How are they still able to deny so much space?
It comes back again. Ascend of
Had to clear a lot of doubts. I got one. If you tie a dinosaur to a chariot and use it as a horse, does it still consider as a fossil fuel? Yes.
Tightened up loads of these scenarios where
But how much horsepower does a dinosaur have?
in a late round, you know, they're just getting.
You know what's funny? An actual horse has more than 1 horsepower. Yeah, Google it. That's actually true.
Bombarded, overwhelmed on sites, but being proactive.
Alright, Starkzone. Ooh, he has ultimate. And it's still a force from Gambit. And he doesn't go for it. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Acend actually has a new analyst, and even during semis, Bone Cold mentioned how important that was. Do you, as an analyst yourself, see this impact when comparing their performance during champs and regionals? Well, they definitely change in the way they play on defense. They are way more disciplined now. From what this change comes from, I have no clue, because I don't sit inside of the team. But there's always, like, you know, if you assume that the coach and the analyst are doing their job, it has to improve the team.
Towards cave and towards shop, they're clearing that space. They have information early enough.
Look at the pace change.
He's dead.
Send an extra.
Hold on, they're just going to be starting.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, good luck.
Hammering the nails into the coffin. Bone Cold with a good start. Nats
How is... Wait.
well, Zeke, but it was an effective trade.
How are they
Bone
losing
Cold's not
this map,
stopping
right?
either. He's seen
Acend is losing
everything now.
Breeze,
He's got
right?
so much information to play with.
It's actually nuts.
He doesn't have to be worried about this. Redgar can't do much about it. He can maybe stay alive a second longer, but then look at Starzo. Again, propping himself up, super close contact on that A site piece if they fancy it. But putting a lot of faith right now in Killers, considering that Cena's hit that rotation. On the ladder, Bone Cold, that's 3. Finally handled by Redgar. But a 2v3, where'd you take this?
2v3, not only that, it's a 2v3 against a Cypher, who still fully controls B. The only job for Achilles right now is just not to die. He controls fully the B side. So he's like the anchor right now of the team, which improves the value of this situation. 3 versus 2, okay, not great, but okay. But with Cypher being alive and fully utilized, that's a great position.
It will swing back up.
Oh, let's look at Cenet's face.
It will Back up here, might.
That was a misclick. You can see his reaction, his body language. He misclicked this. There was no way he wanted to do that, like in any chance, in any way. It's just a fat finger, and he feels stupid about it, man. You can tell.
He's had a nightmare. Look, it's finals, alright? We're all nervous.
Damn, dude. I wonder what's his keybind for dashing.
So,
By the way, this is the best Jet player in the world, in my eyes, for the past a year, you know?
we saw nothing. We'll move on.
Shit can happen.
Ah, yeah, it's fine. And hello.
But when you think about it, are they still win? Okay,
That's
are they
another
winning
big
this
start of
round?
race. So again, these fact-finding missions that Acend wanted to go on are interesting, but has Killers read this rotation? It's kind of ring-a-ring-a-rosy, right? So you're gonna have
Now the keybinds are exactly the same for every single player because it's the spectator's keybind.
a really weird position from Starzo, and it looks like they've almost flipped sides. Now the ult.
The funny thing is, misclicks like this can happen to anyone. But when you think about the outcome of the entire game, right? This map maybe could have been won if he didn't do that misclick, right? Because they lose this round, right?
In, so at least should facilitate the point. Oh, he has no idea. Right
Never mind.
him, depth from above.
They win this round, right?
The ult and now looks towards the final player. Red Gull, what do you have for us? You've been impeccable this event, but you've got to find something here. Give me a reason to believe, because at the moment I'm really not on board.
Yeah,
Starzo
dude,
the
what?
first to fall. And now the one, V1, it's Killers! He's just the back line to so many of these rounds.
Never mind. There's still a small economical impact from this, but I don't think it matters right now because they win 9. But imagine if CNED, like if they lose this round, CNED would feel so awful, man. He's like, oh my god, of good things that you guys clutched this.
Yo, Kaj, thank you very much for the 2 months. Wait, 3 months, sorry. You're the best person on earth, also can I get a goose? Here you go. Thank you very much for the 3 months.
My friend. 1 second, my friends. All right, let's go.
In terms of agents now coming to his own in this role, and he's bailed to send out so many times in terms of lurking, in terms of being the last alive.
So what did Gambit need to do here? I'm posing you a horrible question.
What he said.
1-2-2. 1-2-0 actually.
Gambit playing
Set up for Gambit.
I gotta say, a little too passively in terms of the expectations of what Acend are gonna try and achieve.
I'm seeing CNED going walkabouts.
Yeah, early round. Again, they're getting so much info off this, Lauren.
Now there is a bit of a response in that tube pressure that's coming in.
Oh wow.
But CNED is feeling confident.
Oh
He
wow.
has the line of sight, and he is just having the phone call as well. Gets a challenge, but gets overwhelmed. Gambit with the 2 players come through. Zeke with the underhand.
Oh, dude.
It's good, but it's not great. Gambit finally getting.
Everyone just kind of does the same shit. They just whiff. They just lose the duels. That's about it. I feel like CNED and friends had every single advantage right here. It's just unfortunate they don't get the kills. They had the advantages while peeking. They had the advantages while having the angle. Only CNED capitalizes on the first kill, and then the rest of the players are just getting unlucky. Boncold, Zeke, Killies here. All of them are just not getting those kills.
In approaches now. It's just Starzo. Say just Starzo. See what he can get done. Spike's being safely carried across towards the B side, taken away from his last.
For Zeke, it was more about the cover. The doors just
a foot out of place.
Made it possible for the player to survive that.
First challenge if you went CT would have been Nats. Not an easy target to try and displace. And there's the spike plant.
Spike planted.
You got a very, very deep setup here as well. Gambit, make absolutely sure they drag this one across the line. Not stars I can find any damage here. Just considering just saving this out, but again, coming back to that, with Chronicle, again, I know talking about comfort picks and whatnot, not feeling comfortable on the sky, but right here you see, as soon as CNET drifts into elbow there, going away, sending they're in a couple of Gambit.
Be followed up on. He's taken. Let me go again.
No, I feel like Acend still have a
Different approach from Acend this round. They're gonna take mid control.
good read on exactly where
They
Gambit
did.
positioned.
Cena get control of elbow last round.
The aggression isn't
So this arrow is a big giveaway on mid, because it's like, okay, so someone will probably go down mid. And this is why Chronicle just repositions right now. But Bonkel is controlling elbow, very nice. And this is very important right now, because, see, Bonkel is exposed to this angle here. And this is why CNET controlling this is so important for him. So essentially, they don't need to control this side of the map. This is very smart setup. Look. This is a very smart setup. By having control of elbow deep, having control of B with Cypher utility, they control... Let me draw it this way. All of this is being controlled by Acend right now. Right? All of this side of the map here is being controlled by Acend now, just because of the push down mid and the good crossfire setup by Bonkold and CNET. This is very important because it allows them to rotate faster when the necessity, when the occasion arises, right? So when it's necessary, we're gonna see a double doors crunch from those two players, right? But for now, they just control the space, and it's very important that CNET has the actual space here, because he's the only character in the game that even if he whiffs, he can just smoke off, dash away, be safe. And Bonkold, till that moment, is very safe. And his job is just to control with vision, maybe get one kill, but if not, it's not important. He just has to control this, then he goes back to CNET if necessary, because he cannot just push here. So, unless Keyless will be controlling Nest if necessary, but I think... Zeke is... Wait, is he double dose or is he holes? I cannot tell. It depends on Zeke's position. But yeah, Starks is an anchor on A. He used the ultimate. Let's see how that goes.
That mid presence. Nat's going to invest the ult. Now Starzo knows.
Oh, but he's fucked. The amount of utility that's such... As a Viper player, this is like the moment where you're like, oh my god, I'm fucked. Like, I am fucked. Right? The amount of utility just fucks over him so badly. Yeah, he cannot do much about this. Recon, ultimate from Shadows, players just pushing him, and Bonkold unfortunately dies. Wait, what happened here?
The ult, now Starzo knows that he's going to be really on a platter here. Tricky.
Oh, he stayed for some reason. And that wall went down, I think? Yeah, look at Starks' fuel right now. It's going down. It's at 17 in this moment. So the walls go down now. The wall is going down now, and Bonkold's hesitance gets him killed. He literally dies in mid right now because the wall goes down. He's not aware that he's gonna be fully exposed. CNET goes into double dose before the Viper wall drops. So because that's what you should do. And Bonkold, because of that small mistake, dies in mid.
Yeah. Tricky for him to survive. Can he do anything with it? The answer, pretty resoundingly, is no. Gambit.
Hello, Cloud Rogue.
Really nice.
Hey, Gwegu.
There's the adjustment from Gambit we were waiting for. It took a little time. But it ain't over yet.
Bonkold timing? Nah, that's... That's not timing, that's decision making. Because you see him go back and forth, and he just fucks himself over. It's not timing. When you play with a Viper, even if she doesn't say that the wall is going down, and definitely Starks didn't say it in that moment because he was busy with all of this happening on A, you still hear when the wall goes essentially down. You have a second... See? You have a sound before the wall drops down, and the hesitance from Bonkhold gets him killed. This is not timing. This is bad decision making. I'm not saying this for anyone to feel bad. It's just there. He could have avoided that.
And they don't resort back to that slow default. There's no kind of progressive movement through the map here. And a much
Viper's utility is the only smoke. In this case, smoke. Let's call it smoke in this case. Viper wall and orb is the only smoke in the game that has an audio cue when it's shutting down.
Better again with how that played out. I think the way match.
Some of the Acend, but sometimes done that. Well,
all right. Let's see. Five players going towards B. Killjoy controlling Nest and holds with a turret. Nanoswarm on double doors. Nanoswarm on B entrance. So full utility from Chronicle. Alright, let's see.
Have you done that? Okay.
Very late dagger that lands on Nest.
Alright.
So in that case, if he goes for the dagger on Nest, they want to go into elbow and take the space there. That is the plan.
And how could I highlight once again though? Zeke is such a standout to me as of late. And Defo gonna be dealt with.
So it's not even on Nest. It doesn't give info on Nest. It gives you info on close elbow and tunnel. Very nice. Almost indestructible because no one will be paying attention to that angle. So now they get info if someone is close tunnel.
Can he be shut down in time? No, he still gets to fall away.
It's interesting that they don't do it. Oh shit. I think Starkso missed the orb. Let me pay attention.
That scoreline does make me nervous.
Yeah, Starkso missed the orb on Nest.
Sometimes, right?
I wonder if it's gonna have impact.
Acend holding on to a lead on Breeze.
Oh, don't. Why have you done that? Why have you done that?
That might be a problem. That might be a problem.
Okay, alright. And how could
Let's see if it makes a difference.
Zeke is such a standout to me as of late. And Defo gonna be dealt with. Can he be shut down in time? No, he still gets to fall away, but they're gonna try and springboard off the back of this. Keep that.
Yep, it does make a difference. Chronicle wouldn't have get that kill on CNET. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate.
Pace high, beautiful flash through, completely blind, still got one on the way down. Defo gonna be dragging them down to the grave, and 4 standing for Gambit.
And Chronicle gets, because of that, a second one.
This is a shutdown. Acend came in with
Unlucky.
a bit of a game plan, but it looks like it's been dealt with on all fronts.
Again, the setup is
Unlucky. And that's essentially the reason. That's the essential reason why they lose this pistol round. And this is why it's so important to have this, like, this is why I hate jump lineups, right? But there's no other lineup from here. Like this orb, you can fuck up. It happens, right? But essentially fucks up the entire round. So feels bad.
You will find the third there. A strong start for Gambit.
Like Chronicle wouldn't have get the kill on CNET if that orb would have been there. And yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Again, decisive. Both sides actually see straight away Acend as soon as that barrier drops. Swing through now. See 3.
And they don't get the plants. They cannot force because of that as well.
Deal with Acend on the attack.
Wait, what? Where did that orb go? Man, I wish we had like a higher resolution.
There to
or just more bitrate. Fuck that resolution. Just more bitrate. This orb landed on top of the first pyramid. Okay.
It's actually walking out here. Yeah, we'll actually find Bonkhold.
This is nice from Gambit. A quick reply is what they need.
Did he even open the orb? I don't think... it doesn't matter if he opened it or not. But because it bounces from Nest, he cannot even open it when he pushes the button, because he would expect the orb to already land on Nest and activate it. But it didn't land on Nest, so he cannot activate it. So he would have to pay attention to the minimap to then press it again to activate it.
back on track to what they believe the scoreline should be, and this is the perfect way to do it. See if they can keep all 5 alive.
Good morning, Lays. Lays. Everyone in chat, please send some hearts to Lays because she has birthday today. Happy birthday, Lays. If you want to, maybe you share how many years is that now?
Himself tucked in the corner now. Killers isn't considering it yet, but not exactly in danger either. The Spike still just leaning around that A side of the map, looking to see if they can catch anyone over pushing, over aggressing. Just don't see that really being a Gambit thing. Shados always so cowardly.
Alright, so this is lost.
A little bit.
When we get to them, the buy rounds coming in, a couple of bits and pieces here.
Look towards things go. Those are the snowballing rounds.
Well, this is the first challenge, I'd say. If you get the bonus, you're laughing. But Gambit are going to stick on what they had. Defo does at least have the rifle, but I mean, Chronicle's got a...
Yeah, Defo is on the Vandal. Chronicle on the Ghost. 19, man, I feel old. Thank you. 19. Jesus. That's like almost half of my age. If I would have been 38 and not 36, I would have been half. I am literally, if someone is 18 in the chat, if someone is 18 at the chat right now, then I'm double your age. When you were born, I was already 18.
Ghost Spectre's a weak purchase up against the Guardians and the rifles coming out from Acend. So let's see what the damage looks like for Gambit here. And that is a belter of a start for Defo. Takes a head off of Killers.
But 1-for-1, good outcome for the attackers.
But a quick culling right back. That's the rifle now lost from Gambit as CNED's mid-presence still going to maintain dominance here.
Again, a good indication as well, it being Keyless. They know this is going to be the weaker side of the setup, but very quickly Acend.
Now I feel young again, thanks Lotta. No worries.
Oh god, can he avoid that? I don't actually think he gets spotted there.
I don't think so. Oh.
Defo was the only one with a Vandal. That's kind of unlucky. No, that gun is not retrievable right now, at least.
Now.
Yeah.
Shados is the one closest to the corner, but
Oof.
CNED's going to just check him, body check him down. Acend now striding towards the sights. That's going to be pretty much all the danger removed from the site and not much to really come from it. Nats and Chronicle. This wasn't an
Oh, wait. What am I seeing? Am I seeing a Viper wall that I was talking about? Shit.
Nats and Chronicle. This wasn't an invested round though. If you look at what was coming through that Defo,
Dude, I think it is.
I mean, yes, he had the rifle. No one else had anything. Really.
No.
I think it is.
Again, he just wants to make the most out of it. If anything.
I am very proud. Look at this shit. Dude, I literally didn't see anyone use this Viper wall apart from me before. What the fuck?
Much deeper than you'd maybe expect.
This is the first time I'm seeing this in pro play.
In the bonus, but no real contingency behind that. Nobody covering the possibility.
Literally, it's my wall, dude. What the fuck?
Acend had so many bodies bottom mid.
Ah, never mind. It's not. Fuck, I was so excited. It's not. See? It doesn't leave space. It's almost. But it's not exactly the wall. As you can see here. So a little bit of min-maxing still possible here. Ah, unlucky. Never mind. I was excited.
Zeke will find another.
Yo!
His ultimate here, so
Hassan, thank you much for the 5 months and welcome back, my broski. Welcome back. Thank you much for the continuous support. No message, just a resub.
I'm gonna get ready and get some breakfast. I'll be back in 30 minutes on my PC. And with the last bits to hit 300k. Jesus.
whether or not they try and feed that kill over to Zeke. It will be actually, yeah. We'll find his third. Acend put their 10th on.
What is your war that you're talking about?
Again, things almost level out in terms of the round timeline here.
Remind me to do it to show you after this we finish this map, okay? Remind me to do it after we finish this map.
We talk about highlight rounds, key
and I
rounds
can show you in
them.
game.
And obviously Acend know that as well. They're very aware. Now Gambit didn't go all that in on that last round. I wasn't eyeing it up too much. They seem
Yo,
to be happy to go.
Revex. Oh shit, it's Prime. Wait.
Revex, thank you much for the 9 months. That's the Twitch baby. And I'm guessing you named the Twitch baby Zeke. Thank you very much for the 9 months. Welcome back, my friend.
Go in against the 10 rounds that will sit in the pocket of Acend with the mere 5 of their own. But this is where it gets down to the nitty-gritty. We look at the op coming out for Defo, we look at the purchase. It's very robust, they're happy enough. Anything special? It looks
I'm not a fan of, like, wait, how much cash? Okay, so if you pay attention to the buy, right? If you pay attention to the buy from Gambit, you see that Defo saved enough for an operator. That means he plays an operator, right? 100%. He plays an operator. That means that there are few angles that typically players with operators are taking, right? It's either nest, it's deep A on the right side, which allows him to control either cave or shop, right? Or B here, right? Those are the typical angles for operators, right? So in this case, if you want to do a Viper wall, like I personally do a Viper wall that is more shallow on site to avoid some angles. Why is this snappy? So if I'm standing as a Viper, I do a Viper wall like this to avoid like getting spotted by the operator from this angle. It's like specifically this angle, right? But this is in solo queue when you can't really rely on your teammates actually flash or do anything. Probably might be different. But in general, I like to do this Viper wall. That is, sorry, fuck man. That is like, this is the typical Viper wall, right? But then the operator player can just peek out of the wall and just stand there in front of it, and that's about it, right? But if you do have a deeper, then the angle is just so awkward for the opponents to actually do anything with it. So yeah, but we'll see what is the follow-up of the utility, because Starkster does the standard Viper wall, which leaves a little bit more space for the operator player.
down to the nitty-gritty.
Yo!
Dart22 with the tier 1. Welcome back, my friend. Thank you much for the support of Boruski as well. 28 fucking months. Welcome back.
We look at the op coming out for Defo, we look at the purchase. It's very robust, they're happy enough. Anything special? It looks pretty
Arrow
much
landing
like
on top
traditional
of
APs,
entrance.
which
Very
does
nice. Yeah. Not a fan of this.
Defo is being
This Viper wall could have had the advantage of cutting Defo's angle off. See? He gets a kill because of that, because he's not checked. The drone goes close left, and there's not a single flash used before.
looks pretty much like a kind of tube and your traditional AP.
Yeah, I don't like this. There's no flash being used. It's just the ultimate and the drone. So yeah, I would definitely prefer to have a shallow Viper wall to cut off that angle. Even if your wall, the jet can have peek and no. The thing is, okay, let me showcase to you. Breeze. When you have this Viper wall that goes like this, right? I'm putting this as a line of sight. Look at the line of sight that is being available. So she is very visible the first moment. That means if the jet is playing outside of this corner, outside of this wall, she's being spotted by the drone within first contact. Because she cannot hide from the drone. Like, she's being spotted out. But if the Viper wall is being put like this, and the jet can play here, then that means this drone doesn't catch her. And this is literally what happened. So the drone doesn't see the jet because the jet is playing hidden still for the most tight angle. And they didn't use a single flash, which is a big problem. Like, definitely should have used a flash here, right? So This could have been avoided by either doing a flash or doing the deep wall. Either one of those things. And then the drone pushes out the jet from the position, or the flash push out of position, forces out the dash, right? And ideally, they do both. Ideally, they do a shallower Viper wall and a flash, or deeper Viper wall and just a flash. Ay, caramba.
Towards Defo as being the front man. He's going to find Zeke for free. Looks for a follow-up. There's no one there quite yet. You can see the vision. Just... oh, that got way too close. And Defo's feeling himself here. Pretty brave to be standing like this. What? Starzo walks in, makes a side zone, and Acend just bursts through. 5 now alive. Zeke back on his feet.
So the numbers, they do the job, right?
In this at all. And already look at that push-up. Killer is taking so much room.
Gambit versus Crew? Did I do Gambit? Did I do a photo review of Gambit versus Crew? I think, yeah, I did. I did it on Friday. I'm not sure if it's... Type in exclamation mark VOD reviews. I'm not certain if it's on YouTube already. But you can rewatch the VOD from Friday on stream.
Bladestorm available. The next round for Gambit looks awful. Absolutely awful. Acend going to keep 5 alive. I mean, actually, other than Zeke, there's not even shields that need repurchase in here. That is... by the book, the best possible scenario here. Keyless does
just chilling next to a beer.
Again, I think that's now given Acend everything they need to know. They're saving, guys. Don't even risk anything.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's a bigger loss for Acend to give something away here.
Maybe going forward, keep Acend through here
with an operator.
Yeah.
I honestly do think so. That I honestly think that next year, like, teams right now are playing good on defense. Like, I'm feeling like teams on the pro level definitely did upgrade their defense play when it comes to discipline and actually controlling maps. But the problem is almost every single team has a big problem with actually doing good executes and knowing how to proceed with the tempo they kind of create. I feel like the only teams that are doing this well right now is Crew. They also know how to play post plant quickly. They make the decision like so quickly what to do and when to do it. While other teams are kind of struggling with that. And it's gonna be a big decider if teams are gonna upgrade their attack level next year. Like less defaulty approaches, less slow approaches that don't really do much apart from like using your own util. Like, Gambit is the biggest offender of this. Really. Gambit is the biggest offender when it comes to attack rounds that can be exploited as fuck. If a team, I can guarantee you, if a team has a good coach and a good analyst and they play against Gambit, they're gonna win the defense against Gambit every single time. Because it's so easy to exploit Gambit's slow approach and usage of utility, because it's very telegraphic and they don't know what to do when the defenders are not proactive against them.
It's concerning to see it like this, though, because Acend, if they have the opportunity to, I guess, just...
It might sound weird, but which team do you think is using the attack timeouts the best? I actually don't know. That is something that we cannot really judge without knowing what is happening in those pauses. So you think Fnatic would have been beaten Gambit as well? What, in the final? I have no clue about that. I'm just saying in vacuum about the approaches of the teams. Like, Gambit has to, when you think about it, wait, you know what? Fuck it. Let me check this. In stats. 1 second, so I don't leak anything. I'll check the stats of Gambit. Uno segundo, por favor. We're gonna do a Gambit. Wait 1 second. Gambit match count? No, we're gonna do event 967 because that's the number of champions All right, remind me in a few seconds to check it. We're gonna check the win rate of Gambit on attack. But I think it's very fucking bad. At least in like the high pressure games.
Again, actually a much wider spread here on this setup from Acend, but they've already drawn this rotation again, like I said.
That was a nice fake, but Nats just still holds it. So, wait. Very early dagger from mid. Sova, Viper do a fake on B.
It's clinical.
Right? Yep. And this starts a rotation, in my opinion. Right now, after the arrow will drop, they do a rotation.
Again, actually a much
but let's take a look at what is happening on Cave. Because the rotation started happening. Look, Nats is alone on site, and the other players are looking towards B. Very good fake. And good timing by Acend. They have two players now peeking out of this. But the problem is, they just lose. They just lose the first player here. But it's a very good fake. It's a very good fake. This is actually well timed by Acend.
Actually, we'll find Zeke as well. He's going to stop this one before it gets started.
And hey, if Defo can't...
I don't think they could have flashed in this situation because they were doing a contact play. So I don't think they should have flashed in here. It doesn't make much difference. They needed to like lose one, trade one. Essentially go 1 for 1. They have the site. They have the reinforcements going from Cave. So it was fine. They just needed to kill Nats 1 for 1.
Nats on the site and say,
that's about it.
I need you to lock this down, otherwise we're done for. Spike left on his side, and the bullet just gives him a haircut. These three looking vicious.
Yeah, and Nats just gets 3 kills.
Nats, but not without him finding another body to add to the tally. 2v4 isn't going to be easy. A lot of potential trades favorable as well. CNED's still going to isolate Defo. And Bone Cold the last one alive, but it's a 1v2. This is far more feasible than it was before. Spike well within grasp, but Chronicle way too aware.
Zeke could have flashed with Viper just milliseconds before it went up.
A site here. We've already drawn this rotation again.
He wanted to like go fast. I don't think he even thinks about the Viper wall. Yeah, he doesn't think about that because there's no way he flashes this wall. He just goes for the kill, and it's unfortunate that he flicks. Nats has perfect timing against him. That's about it. Nats in general has a good angle because it doesn't allow him to get traded. If he gets the kill, that first one, he insta hides, right? So unless he gets lucky shot from one of the attackers there, then he's safe. So this is very well. This was very smart by Nats. Good morning, Daban.
Previous, and he makes it absolutely worthwhile for Gambit here. Again, you can see right here on the.
Maybe because it's the first year, the tournament didn't feel really like high level major compared to CS:GO, because teams are still learning how to play this game. There's a lot of min-maxing mistakes. There's a lot of like non-optimal plays. There's a lot of compositions that are still not optimized and so on. Like, this is gonna take a while. Did you, like, if you would have seen CS being played in the early games, it was just so fucking random, man.
And I think Chronicle...
Of course, you already have, like, way higher level of play in the first year of Valorant than in the first year of, like, professional CS. Because those CS, like, kind of had to carve the ground for everything, right? But, this is definitely not the highest level of Valorant that we're gonna see in the future years. The game is gonna evolve. The teams are gonna get better, specifically on attack.
Sitting a little bit deeper, he's gonna be forced to...
Playing defense is way easier than playing attack.
The one player notices they made their way through. So they know the op's already out towards the site here. Redgar gonna keep trying to filter that information through. And Acend playing around just the precipice of the site. They haven't quite fully committed yet. And look at these rotations.
I don't know, man. They have the perfect Viper wall from defense to abuse with the flash from Zeke right now. But they didn't go for it. The Viper wall is also pretty deep. So it's not perfect.
Towards the A site.
Yeah, that's it.
Achilles gets a kill from double doors on Redgar. That's absolutely nuts. And puts the pressure now. So Achilles could have just go back. And this would put an insane amount of pressure. He doesn't have to go double doors, right? He doesn't have to go here because he already got the kill. So if he carves the angles from here and here, the players have no idea. Like, Gambit has no clue if Achilles is next to double doors, if he's just holding passively, maybe he's already like here, and that puts an amount of pressure on Nats and on Chronicle, but he can just go back. Let's see what he chooses to do, because if he dies before there's an actual execute from Cave, that is a huge blunder after getting a massive kill. Definitely. Like, whatever you do, when you get like an opening as a lurker, right? You don't want to proceed. You need to be the guy that now plays the second tempo after your team gets now the pressure. That's how you play the proper lurker role, but he already get impact, right? He just wants to now snowball, and he snowballs by doing nothing because he puts pressure, right? So if he puts pressure here and he just plays passive, that gives enough space for the team to actually now put pressure by numbers, and when they do this pressure from here, this is where Achilles will thrive.
Here, and he is able to find an angle through. Nats will be defending on site as well.
Yeah, they've got to hit this site right about now. Chronicle trying to spam away, try and get some chip damage, but Nats is now surrounded. He's got players right, left, center. Ult comes in, and the plan going to be going
decent
down well.
positioning, but Achilles dies anyway.
Aggressive. Oh no, Nats unchecked is always deadly. Chronicle's got his side as well, and now we go into the last player standing. Cena, what do you got for us? Anything left in the tank? Absolutely not.
Nats just destroys them, man.
His patience pays. Gets the op and gets.
Hello there, first night, a new flat behind me. Easy. Congrats, Bambucha. Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you much for the 50 bits, and congrats on the new hold, my friend. Which was better, Cypher, Killjoy, and Breeze. I think so. Oh. He went for the ultimate, and he killed himself because of that. That's unfortunate.
Still, I mean, there's 3/4 progress there on the plant.
What do I want to say? If you want to know my opinion about Cypher, Killjoy, just start this VOD at the beginning. I talk in depth about it.
Get out of my way. They've humbled the money. Acend kept on 11 for now.
Now they push on a lower buy through mid fast and just do a crouch. And the main pressure goes from the double doors. Nats buys time by smoking and snake biting the cave, which probably makes them wait in cave, and now he has the chance of fight those 3 people. That was the flash, but he gets easy kills, man. Never mind, he's dead. No, he's still alive. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh my God. He doesn't know when he's dead, and the last player alive is Bone Cold, and they just can't get rid of him. Gambit, 4 stand.
He was even debuffed, dude. He just played perfect off angles. He used the utility to stop the push from A side, and then he just buys enough time for the team to help him with other piece of utility, and he just holds it and stuck.
Gap gets smaller.
And we talk about it. This is when you start getting concerned for Acend. When Gambit can build a little momentum, and that's it. They pump the brakes.
Yep, they have
Good
to.
for you, Bambucha.
If I'm a coach, and I'm
Nats just won 3 rounds on his own.
my team get held on 11, I'm getting nervous.
Yeah,
because
that's
I know what happened
literally won 3 rounds on his own.
Get stuck at this point. You have to address it now, because these side hits are finding nothing. Nats is just running you around. He's making you look silly. They have to find the answer.
Yeah, Starks was mad. He had him. He had him debuffed with his back turned to him. That's pretty unfortunate for Starks to not hit that.
Chronicle now.
Yeah, but Defo can
let's see.
Extend a little if he wants to. See if he wants to get
A more defaulty approach against Defo with an operator from the last round. Ooh. Okay, and Nats is using the shit wall on B. But the shit wall on B is being helped with this and okay, let's see how they play this. Because if I would have to make an assumption, if you want to play the shit wall on B, you have to play from this angle here. And then a player helps you from this angle. Because someone needs to guard this B tunnel. Let's see.
Wing factor in this round.
And he's got Sky with him, right?
They might even try and flash into shop here.
I think that's exactly what we're seeing, which again removes a couple of options.
Ooh, that's lucky son of a gun.
The shot was so close, but he's going to fall away. Defo going to just fall back a little.
But straight away, look.
Anybody else hardly playing Valorant while VCT was on? Well, I know I didn't.
And this now just falls onto Nats's lap. He sat there, and this was the whole intention.
Can you explain why this wall is bad? Type in exclamation mark guides. There's an entire video about it.
They are running.
And by the way, this is not only my opinion. There are coaches and professional players who are like big deal in the community think the same. There's just very specific reason to play this wall, but you don't want to play this as a default wall on B.
Forcing and herding Acend this way. Now he's not alone here though. He does have a teammate with him as well. He will have support on this. It will be Chronicle. The dastardly duo.
This is crazy again. Just that little bit of aggression forces Acend to consider going elsewhere. They've noticed.
Wait, is there an orb even in B main? Yeah, there is.
Redguard's already looking to preempt this rotation.
And it's leaking on site. Nuts. Nuts. Why are you doing are you doing this to me? Oh my.
And they're walking into a really awkward
This is so not optimized.
And now they're
This is so not optimized.
like, oh no. Surely not again. Surely this isn't what's happening. Look at the utility smothering them down. Nats is buying time after time. Can they finally take him down? No, they can't. Nats the immovable object.
No way.
Oh!
But I really do think that this wall actually was detrimental to him. This is really look, this is not a good fucking wall. This is just blind luck that he doesn't get killed, because look what's happening. There are 3 players on B side, right? 3 players on defense B side. But the problem is, those players are useless. Those 2 are useless. Nats is virtually alone on site right now just because of this wall. Just because of this wall, Nats is virtually alone. Pay attention.
What's happening? Look at the utility. And now they're like, oh no. Surely not again.
Killjoy has no impact. She just does the nano swarm, fortunately. And that's about it. Right? There's still, like, he just carved the space.
Smothering them down.
They can abuse this wall for Flash's backside. I don't know why, like, Bonkel just goes for the plant here, because they have no map control. So he dies because he just tries to plant in a very awkward spot. And he just gets... I think he wants to plant. Does he want to plant? Shit, I don't even know. But I think if he wants to plant, he killed himself, essentially.
Nats is buying time after time.
I don't know even what happened. Bonkel just died very weirdly. But... They used the wall to stay protected while shooting off recon, I think. But look, the thing is, look now at Nats, okay?
Can they finally take him down? No.
Look now at Nats. This player here can flank him because the wall is helping him. And Nats is just standing virtually alone, see? The player's backside, those 2, they have no impact, and Nats can die for free because he can get flanked because of this wall. So even if this wall has some usage, like, I don't really think it's worth the risk. I don't really think it's worth the risk. Even if they play with the recon, like, this recon can be destroyed. Let me pay. Okay, let's look at it again.
And they're walking into a really awkward setup here on the defense from Gambit.
And now they're like, oh no. Surely not again. Surely this isn't what's happening. Look at the utility.
So the recon is being put on the top here. And this is the job of Jet, to smoke it off or destroy it right here.
Them down.
Nats is destroying... No, wait, what? It's not Nats. This is... Who is this? This is Redguard. This is Boncold.
Nats is buying time off.
So he probably dies because of that. If he would have stayed in the smoke, he doesn't die. So it's cool. Okay, they get the 1 kill. They probably would have gotten even without the wall anyway. But I really don't think this is a good wall because of that. Just Nats getting insane kills. That's about it. If those people get him, right? If the peaks are synchronized better, this could have been a very successful round. But just Nats just single-handedly wins 4 rounds. Yo, Lays, thank you much for the 1,000 bits. 297,750. But we also have, thank you much, Lays, for the 1,000 bits. But we also have a sub that I missed
3 minutes ago. Samifia, thank you much for the tier 1 and welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to the family. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you much for the support, and if you could introduce yourself to us, that would be absolutely splendid.
Thank you again, Lays, for the 1,000.
Unbelievable work from Nats! And Acend can't escape him! He's the final boss that they cannot get past!
My up is being from there's literally
There. This is what it's Prime Gaming, flawless. Really just to signify the scenario that Acend are now in. Sheriff's, Frenzies, Light
And by the way, this is why playing Phantom is just so much more important.
Armor. Can they get anything? Can they find that weakness, that avenue back, that way to remove a player? That ain't gonna be it.
that's the one you don't want to remove at the start of the round. Unless you Gambit.
Yeah, Gambit fans now.
And Defo looks like he might.
Why do you think they didn't perform well this time, but were they underprepared?
He retrieved, and look at that. It's the spike noted as well.
Yeah,
So
I mean, the approach to the game was very lackluster.
he's going to try and find something on the other side of the map. We have to see if he does find success.
I mean, you can rewatch the VOD analysis that I did of the American teams.
Still staring down the barrel of Defo. Nats does actually deal with that lurk, so again, good indication.
You can type an exclamation mark wallpaper, raise the raptor.
Almost committed here, trying to find something.
I really
Free
like
pickings.
this. It's flawless again from Gambit, who are just striding through. And this is when we bring these...
This is, they keep... Ascend have none of that right now.
No trap and no bots in holes. This Shokta doesn't do much, but you have to kind of use it anyway. Killjoy is playing on B. Zeke has the ultimate. And with Zeke having the ultimate, this is why you see Nats play here. So very smart approach by Nats. He puts the Viper wall on A, but doesn't play A. Because he knows that if he gets tagged by the Zeke ultimate, he cannot help in any way. And he sets up an orb here, and this is why he plays backside, like here. So he's not being caught by it. Very important. But what I think is the biggest mistake that I see a lot of teams do while having the KO ultimate is that they don't just push us 5. Like, it's literally the round. Like, if you think about how you should play this round when you have the ultimate from KO, is like you have an ultimate from Phoenix. You just essentially do a full push with 5 players and you just brute force your way because you overcome your opponents with the amount of denial that you have. Samifia says, I'm 21 years old, War plays really bad in Valorant, and that's why I'm watching your streams regularly. Thank you, Samifia. Which country are you from?
Again, they play deep enough once again to basically negate Zeke's early round utility. And they'll lean back towards what feels like.
And that's what's expecting, by the way, that ultimate from Zeke. But look at Killjoy. She would have been affected fully, right? Look at Sky, look at Jet. They would have been affected fully as well.
Looking for a pick, but set up here from Gambit.
And now they know where Zeke is playing. Killjoy has the info. Zeke is playing on B.
They're not going to give one away.
I'm from Poland. Welcome, Samifia.
So they continue to explore through elbow, up middle. It's going to be Nats again, isn't it? Maybe a quick lean comes in from someone like Defo, or, I don't know, Redgar comes across, who knows. But at this point...
He can play like this with the Viper Snakebite in hand because of the bot that is controlling B tunnel. And also because he knows that once the button is pressed for Zeke, right? He needs to use it and then fight. So he's gonna go, once the button is used by Zeke with the ultimate, he goes Snakebite, activate, fight long range. He's gonna be touched by the ultimate at some point, most likely. So, but it at least buys some time in the initial fight.
Again.
Very important round right now. If they don't have this, they insta-lose.
Interesting thing here will be if they can make use of this utility ahead of null command. There you go. Actually, it's popped straight away, and Immediately see the Nano Swarm to try and buy a little bit of time.
Yeah. That's just awkward.
And Chronicle will find it.
But he pushes into this. The confidence is just uncontestable. And Nats is the back line, and he is not going to fall away. Nats.
What?
That is just so well done by Gambit. Literally game winning by Nats. That nanoswarm being pressed at the beginning of Zeke's ultimate as well buys enough time for like stopping that push, but also is just, I really think that Acend here dropped the ball when it comes to the utility that it should have used as a as like the initiation. Let's pay attention to what is the positioning of them.
If they can make use of this utility ahead of.
Like, look, this is no. This is not good. This is really not good. See this? Look how far away those people are. Look, this is not a big deal for most people, but when you compare it like on a pro level, being so far away from the initiation, that is a huge issue. Zeke has no follow-up. This is the biggest problem. That in many teams, in really many teams on pro level, what I see right now is the lack of understanding of good pathing. Specifically at the drop down of the barrier, but also in situations like this. Zeke is separated from the other teammates too far away to make an impact with a, like, there's no surprise factor because they're late. They're just late. Cypher's not ready. Viper's not ready. Sova's droning. Jet is not ready. Zeke has no follow-up. Like, this is just really bad.
There you go.
Like, at this point, you should probably just go back. You did no impact.
It's popped straight away.
Why is there a nanoswarm here? This nanoswarm, by the way, is just, I guess, as a counterplay to CNET jumping on it. Using drone triggered the Killjoy to pop Molly? I think so.
It will be if they can make use of this utility ahead of.
No, it's fine. It just, the wave wasn't fast enough. Just Chronicle was prepared to pop the, like, look.
Interesting thing here will be if they can make use of this utility ahead of.
They do it at the same time. It's just that Chronicle is aware of the Zeke's ultimate, and that's about it. But it's still like the biggest problem here is the lack of spacing, or like too big spacing between Zeke and the other members, and yeah.
No command. There you go. Actually, it's popped straight away and immediately see the Nano Swarm to try and buy a little bit of time.
And look, see? There's no one following up. He's alone. There's no one trading. That's the biggest problem. So yeah. But very smart play by Gambit. Very smart play by Gambit. Wait.
Don't know how to
We
get
jump
away
down.
from and you can see it between them. Imperfect synergy in the switch up, and it
So the ultimate stuff is just not fast enough to affect Killjoy before popping Molly? No. It is not fast enough when the player is aware that he's gonna get hit by it. Zeke used a flash 15 seconds before that hit. So the players knew that Zeke was elbow. Right? And there was enough information on A to know that they didn't rotate to A. So players on B were ready for that hit with Zeke's ultimate. So there was just not enough surprise factor for that to matter. And if Zeke maybe would have been a little bit more stealthy, then maybe Killjoy wouldn't have time to activate that nanoswarm, and maybe only Nats would have been able to use his snake bites.
the ace line. He's everywhere they want to be. This is literally like a nightmare. They don't know how to get away from him. A quick underhand flash, but look at this Bulldogs. Light armor. They don't even have the full kit and caboodle. They're working with less. An aggressive posture.
And now they lost all the flashes.
Well, from Defo, he's taken space elsewhere.
And again, if they note this, if Defo...
I think Chronicle heard Sova droning and popped the nanosons even before Zeke ultimate. We were paying attention to that. It was milliseconds difference between the drone popping and Zeke popping the ultimate, so I don't think it mattered.
Defo finds a kill. It's going to force them back towards the site they don't want to hit.
And I love how they're using this though. Defo on one side taking a bit of space. We saw it with the flashes
so
before.
much map control here.
And now let's see if he can keep this sort of presence though, because it's tricky. He could get punished.
He gets hit as well. Damn. Was that a headshot? He's 150. And he gets hit 3 times here.
He could get punished.
What the fuck? Oh, Boncold plays with a bulldog, so he gets headshotted. Or is it just a triple hit? I think it's a triple body shot.
And actually gets away with his life, luckily and surprisingly. 35 HP, can filter away, doesn't get punished for it. Shados there just to try and facilitate that escape plan if he needs it. And well, they've decided maybe B's the site to go to, as that's where the op is, I guess.
Again, Wall not invested yet from Starzo. He's got his Viper's Pit, so it looks like they are leaning towards a B hit once again. Again, they're very cautious. They're trying to figure out where Defo's repositioned to. Kilos might even try and bait a little contact here in double doors.
Yeah, but they've got an early rotation as well. Chronicle's coming over, and I quite like that. Defo's got himself hopping out the ult, and that still finds one! No matter what they do, Acend can't do anything! They are left without an answer. And it is just a clean sweep from Gambit 5.
I'll be honest with you guys.
Presented the impossible, tries to make it
Acend doesn't have the best attack side. Like they kind of lack the execution behind the utility that they do, or they don't use the utility enough. But Nats and Chronicle just shut down defense on their own.
Revealing area.
That's it.
Found them.
System that Gambit's able to invest.
It's literally it. It's kind of so insane.
Again, Chronicle, he's so sharp, and he has been the last few days. Again, you think back to that ace on bind, and wow.
Hello, Rix.
I'm speechless.
Yo, thank you much for the 14 months, Rixu. Thank you much for them going support, Broski. Welcome back.
Yes, absolutely. And half of me, you know, you do have to look a little bit towards what Acend are doing wrong, but it's so hard to take it away from what Gambit are doing so right. Nats and Chronicle, to me, this duo...
Very early Shadows ultimate. And that's very nice. He just gets early info. This is super nice. That allows him... This is so nice. Many people will not think about this. The ultimate from Shadows here, because it's map point, right? By ultimating early, he guarantees that he has the value out of the ultimate, because otherwise, if they go into overtime, he will not have the ultimate. But also, there's like, he gets the early info, where to reinforce, because look at the Seekers. They're just not going B. And because of that, he's allowed to rotate early. Because of that, Defo is allowed to take space.
Defo, again.
And because of that, Nats also just ults A.
Has the Seekers to set him up. You can have the ult coming in. Nothing seems possible for Acend.
Well.
And now the thing is, that's what I was explaining a lot of times, right? Look, there's pressure here. There's pressure in here. No one wants to push into a Viper's Pit, right? Defo already took space. And now, his only job, after he took the space, is to hold this. Because the amount of pressure done on A will most likely push players into his hands. And when that happens, he just needs to get one kill and fuck off. That's about it, right? That's about it. And someone kind of needs to take space on Nest, but we'll see if that happens.
Viper's Pit, A site. Nats is going to hold on to that here, whether or not see Gambit readjust. Look how deep Defo is once again.
Now that's a good pick though. Zeke finding Chronicle's actually pretty important. Maybe
what?
This is a chance.
Zeke just fucking deagled him through the entire halls. That is like 2 headshots.
Whether or not see Gambit readjust. Look how deep
Damn.
again.
Now that's a good pick though. Zeke finding Chronicle's actually...
That feels bad. That feels bad because now they, like, they have so much pressure here, but now they lost a player in holes, and that leaves a gaping hole.
Maybe this is a chance.
Ugh.
I say that with this man still lingering around.
I don't like Starks' attitude, but he carried this match badly, especially in Icebox. Really gives 100% to his team. What do you mean, Starks' attitude? He's animated. He's very, you know, positive. Has a positive mentality for his team. Like, that's... You need a guy like that in a team. That really puts so much motivation to the team. Lays with the 1,000 bits. Holy crap. 298,750. So, very close to 300k.
Deeper and deeper, finding new ways, and if they keep leaning back this way, it's a very real possibility.
Very close.
He catches one of these players. It looks like he's going to spot Killers pretty soon, and he does. He finds Killers, and oh, he just got a glimpse of a second. 100% confirmation that they are eyeing up this side of the map. He can fall away and buy a lot of time. They don't have to over-rotate.
Well, again, the fact.
But see, Defo gets the kill and fucks off. That was his job. That was his job.
You see here, Shados actually doubles down. So it looks like it's.
I was on his stream for a few times, and the best experience in life. I don't talk about his personal stream. I don't give a fuck. In professional play, he is one of the best kind of teammates you kinda want to have, because he's affecting positively your team and affecting negatively the opponents.
And still want to try and navigate their way past this Viper's bit onto A.
Am I gonna do it now, or should I wait a little longer just to get some nerfs for the new badge? It's up to you, Lace. That's up to you. You're 250 bits away from 300k bits on the channel. That is absolutely mental.
Good luck. Because we know who's there. Redgar this time holds across. Zenith finds one. Redgar sprays in. He gets...
Jesus. Such a good setup. And now two players are going for Viper Split.
Who finally gets denied by Stars.
Oh yeah, that's unlucky. I know the pain.
There's a chance! And he gets ripped away, Redgar! It's 10 seconds! It's over! 13 to 11!